3/4 inch tongue and groove solid wood floor, just like it can be sanded down, all that stuff. Because we are not like on a basement floor slab and there's moisture coming through, you can kind of do the glue down. You know, it's not for every situation, but it's been holding up very well from that standpoint. But that radiant heat works fantastic. It works well on these high ceilings. It keeps the heat where you're at, not at the 11-foot ceiling. Obviously, it's very soft, gentle heat, but we obviously still need to bring in fresh air. And so we do have a heat pump and an air handler. The air handler is located right above us here. What that does is a couple things. Is we also have an HRV to bring in and exchange our fresh air. So because we're not moving air through our primary heating, we still move a little bit of air through that air handler and the HRV. So
yeah, explain what an HRV is.
Yeah, so it's a heat recovery ventilator. Basically, it allows you to exchange the stale air from the inside with fresh air from inside without losing the energy. So there's basically it's a box that outside air comes in and the inside air goes out, and they cross, but they never physically touch. There's all these intertwined little tubes, basically, in a nutshell. It's basically a radiator, kind of. So they exchange it. So in the winter, your warm air heats up that cold air. In the summer, it cools down that warm air. And so you can bring in fresh air without just sending all your dollars outside. And that allows us to have fresh air in here, even with just a radiant system. But there is a heat pump that provides our primary air conditioning as well as supplemental heat. So, you know, if it's a nice day out, but it gets a little cold at night, you can flip that on and without having to fire up the full boiler, and you know, that takes a couple hours to kind of heat up. One good thing is because it's our supplemental and our air conditioning, we could minimize the ductwork. It doesn't have to be sized for that heating demand, so it's a little smaller, so we don't have to spend quite as much on that, but they're still ducted to every room, and again, just with essential return. So been very happy with that. The quality of heat's just amazing. I mean, you can feel it, especially, you know, making you take your shoes off. You can feel that nice warm feet. And one other thing that we did that I'm very happy we did this is in our master bathroom. There's a tile floor there. We put in a separate loop there with its own thermostat, so we can actually keep that a little bit warmer. There's nothing better than getting up and having a nice warm tile floor in the morning when it's snowing outside. So very, very happy with that. So highly recommend that, whether you do electric or otherwise, but that's been fantastic. You know, insulation wise, again, it was a brick shell. There was, you know, 8 inches or 12 inches of brick depending on the floor. So we ran new insulation on the exterior, the 3 outside walls. That's actually a system called InsoFast. It's a panel system. It's basically 2 or 2.5 inches of rigid foam with an integral plastic eye stud in there, so you can attach your drywall. And they're tongue and groove. They fit together. You glue them. It provides your air sealing and that. It's actually originally made for like basement retrofits, but it's worked very well on this type of installation. So it's thin. We're not furring out an entire new wall. There's no thermal break because of those plastic studs, so you don't have a wood or a metal, you know, channel interrupting that. So you have very consistent insulation value. And we did leave this wall with the brick or plaster because again, it's a party wall, and so we've got a building that's literally next to us, so we're not losing energy out this wall. Other than a couple feet at the top, we felt was a decent trade-off. And so again, these buildings, you can kind of do that. If this was totally standing alone, I would have insulated the whole thing and, you know, done that.